guys, today's video is going to be a little bit shorter than the other ones. The chapter is pretty short, so we're just going to do chapter 50 today. It's been great seeing all of you guys on Zoom. I really enjoy that. I hope to see third hour tomorrow and some of my homeroom on Friday. Otherwise, enjoy my video today. Chapter 50. Connor's plan was for Cregan to drive him and me directly to the castle in time for the announcement. I argued that Tobias, Roden, and Imogen should come with us, but Connor expressly forbade it. So I nodded at Imogen and then shook hands with Roden. It's not too late to back out. Roden's grip was powerful. You never wanted this. No, I never did. We had no disagreement there. But this is my future, not yours. A flash of anger crossed Roden's face, but he backed off while I shook hands with Tobias. I think you're supposed to be the king, Tobias said, smiling. The stars are shining for you tonight. He must have felt the note I placed in his palm when we shook hands, and he hid it well when we pulled our hands apart. So they did a quick sleight of hand to pass a note. So kind of interesting. I wonder what that note says. The ride to the castle was very quiet between Connor and me. He had started our ride by trying to quiz me on any last-minute details. I assured him that I knew everything I had to know, and I told him to let me have my silence. I watched the castle rise into view as we approached. I hadn't been there in 4 years, and when I left, I had never expected to see it again. It was one of the younger castles in the surrounding region, and as such had borrowed heavily from other countries' architecture. It was built of the large granite blocks from the mountains of Mendenwall, and used the round, heavily decorated turrets of Weimar rather than the plain and square turrets common elsewhere. Like Gellen's architecture, the heart of the castle was tall and layered, while its wings were long and square. The small ledges extended beneath the windows. To the people of Carthia, it was the center of their government, a symbol of the king's power and a sign of the prosperity we had always enjoyed. To me, it was home. However, it quickly became apparent that we were not the only ones trying to get in through the gates. A dozen carriages were ahead of us in line. One by one, a castle guard spoke to someone in the carriage at the front of the line. A few got through, but most were turned away. Connor leaned his head out the door and signaled to a carriage that had been refused entrance. "What's happening?" he asked the occupant. "Can't say exactly. Whatever I said to the guard, though, he waved us away. Can you imagine such a rude treatment?" Sorry, I lost my place. Ooh. "I happen to have the lost son of Carthia, Prince Jaren, with me." I started to lean forward to get a look at him myself, but Connor pressed me back into my seat. "Do all of these carriages hold the missing prince?" Connor asked. "There are several frauds, I'm afraid. Several carriages contain nobles invited to the castle to greet whatever king is named tonight, and they're allowed through. But my boy, the prince, is with me, so they have chosen poorly." "Let's hope the correct boy is crowned tonight," Connor said, and then wished him well as our carriage moved forward. When we were alone again, Connor added, "His boy looked nothing like Prince Jaren. The guards must be screening for possibilities here at the gate, letting only the most probable candidates through. Don't worry, Sage. Your resemblance is close enough to get us through." I wasn't worried. But when we reached the gate, Connor learned the truth about the screenings. The guard looked at me and arched an eyebrow. At least he was impressed. "Who is this?" he asked Connor. "Prince Jaren of Carthia, as you can plainly see. He must be presented at court before a new king is named." "I've seen many Prince Jarens tonight," the guard said. "Have you anything else to say?" This was a request for a code word. It was an old tradition amongst the royal family to have a code word in the event that an impostor ever tried to enter the castle, or if we had to enter the castle while in disguise. The guards at the gates of the castle were the only other ones who knew the code word even existed. If Connor had known the code, he would have asked if the queen planned to wear green at the dinner tonight, because it was the only color he had brought to match her dress. At least that's been the code for 4 years ago. All Connor could do was shake his head. I'm sorry, the guard said. You may not enter the castle tonight. But I'm Bevan Connor, one of the 20 regents. Then what I meant to say is that you may enter. The guard flashed a glare at me. The boy with you may not. He is Prince Jaren. They all are. Connor yelled at Cregan to turn our carriage around. Fools, Connor hissed, swatting at the carriage door with his hat. Are we defeated so easily? I leaned back in my seat. There's a secret way into the castle. Connor stopped his swatting. What? How do you know? I've used it. You've been inside the castle? Why didn't you tell me? You never asked. There's a river that flows beneath the kitchen. As the food is prepared, the garbage is dumped into the water and the river carries it away. The river is gated, but there's a key so the gate can occasionally be cleared of larger obstructions. And do you have a key? I pulled a pin from my jacket. Imogen hadn't felt me take it from her hair the night before. I can pick the lock. Connor smiled, impressed with what he thought was my ingenuity. In fact, I suspected all along it might come to this. Thus, the pin. Connor's face fell as he further considered my suggestion. We'll be filthy if we go that route. Unfit to enter the throne room. That guard just now said you could enter through the gate. I can enter through the kitchen. Connor shook his head. Absolutely not. We must stay together. Which, unfortunately, I also suspected he would say. So I shrugged it off and said, We'll be fine on this route. There's a dirt path to the side of the river, wide enough that we can easily walk there single file. It will lead us to a door into the kitchen. It's never guarded, but we'll need help to restrain the kitchen servants while you and I continue on into the castle. Mott, Tobias, and Roden. Connor's eyes narrowed. Did you know this would happen? Is that why? I brought them so you wouldn't kill them. There's one other condition. I don't want Cregan coming with us. Order him to stay back. But if he can help, he doesn't come. Very well, Connor thought for a moment. How do you know all this? I ate from that kitchen a lot when I was younger. Connor misinterpreted my answer and said, For the first time, Sage, I'm glad to have chosen a thief and an orphan as my prince. And that's the end of the chapter. Told you, it's going to be a pretty short one. All right. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, email me. Come to my office hours. I'm here for you. All right. Peace out, y'all. Bye.